Hey everyone, this is Louis7 and another episode of LOTRO Basics, and this one, it's another one that I've already actually done and recorded, like the leveling build, the Warden, the first one on the red line, and this one is another one where I did all three specs, or at least I planned to do all three specs in one video, but doing all three of those in one just took a real long time. It took almost 40 minutes to get through everything. So I will be splitting this up into a single video for each spec, and it's basically just a gameplay combat guide for whatever spec or class I'm doing. And I'm starting on the Rune Keeper, and I will be starting with the fire build, and the next one on the Rune Keeper will be lightning, then healing. And I do have all these ones recorded, so they might be up sooner than some other classes or specs. And if you want to see a particular class or spec, please request it. I'm not too familiar with every class and spec to be sure I would be able to do it right away or quickly compared to others, but it's something I could work on. So anyway, the point of these guys is it's something kind of new. I'm trying just to get more of a class guide and a general gameplay guide out that focuses on like combat mechanics and like gameplay, like I said. So I will be getting into that, and again, this one's just going to focus on the red line of the Rune Keeper, and it won't focus on like legendary item builds, gear builds, or anything, just the gameplay, combat, that type of guide. Anyway, I'll go ahead and switch over to the guide recording, and hopefully you all enjoy it. But hopefully this applies to all levels and leveling players. They might be able to look forward to it for higher levels, for everything in here. So we'll start with the red line, probably the most popular Rune Keeper line at this point. And I am using this build right here. I have some of the LOTRO Basics videos with the builds. I actually built this one, I think, in the leveling one. This is one I'd slightly change for some endgame stuff, but it'll work for this video. So I'm in the school at Untitled, and I thought about doing some landscape stuff, but there's nothing really that's quite hard enough, I think would be the best way to put it, for me to actually show some of the combat stuff of the Rune Keeper. Okay, so the first thing is we have all of our fire skills. Scathing Mockery is one skill I see used way too often when it shouldn't be used. It should pretty much only be used when you can get the full duration out of it, and that's about 42 seconds. And it can be used against 5 targets, maybe if it lasts 30 seconds, so that's only a skill you want to use if your targets are going to be up for a long time. So any short fight, like in a featured instance, or even some boss fights in featured instances, won't last that long. So you usually don't want to use a skill unless it's a long boss fight. And then it is useful on single target, but it has a long induction, so you do not want to use it without Essay of Fire, because Essay of Fire does make your next fire skill have no induction. But usually my opener looks like this. I will start with Essay of Fire, and then I will use Essence of Flame, and then I'll use my Runestone here, and I'll switch the target here in this specific case, and burn the Archer with Smoldering Wrath. And then I'll just use Rid of Fire and Essence of Storm to build some attunement to use Combustion. But I got stunned, so I can't do that. This guy's almost dead, so I'll just go there. So I'm going to start this fight with some high attunement and just do 364 on my keybinds, my keyboard. This guy's going to attack me, and here's where I can use Combustion while Smoldering Wrath is on cooldown, and that killed them. So again, this is already, you can see, hard to show everything because they're just dying too fast. And then here I'm going to use the same opener, 3, 6, 7, and then I will switch the target for 4 since there are 2 of them. If there is just one target, I'd stay focused on him. And then I'll use Rid of Fire. Rid of Fire is good to build up. It's a quick cast, but Essence of Storm is also good because it can build quick attunement. If you're doing something like endgame, using Essence of Storm wouldn't be quite as good. So I actually want to cast Fiery Ridicule here just because I had nothing better to use, and he's about dead anyway. And then pull these guys. And if I just accidentally run into them because of Rune Keeper's high damage, I can hit those guys, pretty much one-shot that one, and the other one's probably almost dead. Just burn this guy with Smoldering Wrath. And finally finish off with Rid of Fire. So I will actually go down here and clear these guys out a little bit so I can pull like that mini boss guy. And I'll do pretty much the same thing here, except I want to kill these guys, the little ones. You see how I used shocking words there? That was mainly to stun the guy, and it's an instant cast thing that will remove your attunement and return you to neutral. So I'll pull these here and go ahead and get rid of some of my debuffs and heal up between the fight. Okay, so now I'll pull this guy, and you see I'm using the same opener pretty much every time. Here I'm actually able to get the runestone to take care of the little guys, and it looks like I accidentally pulled a leader here. And this is a good time to use Combustion again. Hopefully that will kill the ads. It looks like it did. So I'm just waiting on Essay of Fire, which I thought I already started casting, but I didn't. I had an instant cast rid of fire there, which was nice. And now I'm ready to take on Lugad the Blade. I always want to call him Yulgad because it just looks like it'd be a YLL, but Lugad the Blade. And I'm actually going to pick this book up real quick. Okay, so since I can't just pull him, I'm going to start before anything even happens, get Essence of Storm. It's not too strong, but it's still good to have it on the enemy, just to have it on. And before the fight, if you have nothing better to do, it's good, because it also has that debuff that increases their incoming critical chance, so you get more crits on them. And here I'm having a little bit of survival problems. You see my health is going down, so I'm going to use Steady Hands and reverse my attunement and use Epic for the Ages to heal myself all the way up. And then use my bubble while at max healing attunement. And then I'm going to start back with my burning rotation. And then I probably should have killed that ad with this specific fight, because he's going to bring some extra guys to come kill me. Maybe he won't. Oh, there it is. That guy's going to. So I will... Oh, I'm going to pull a bunch of stuff, so we'll see how this works out. And then I'm going to, lay my runestone here and get Combustion on this guy. And then I can already use Essay of Fire again and back to Essence of Flame. And then you've probably noticed I have actually not used Distracting Flame. That's one you could use more often than me, just because it builds 3 attunement and it's a quick cast, but it's really weak damage. And you want to start using it more in a rotation and DPS because of the attunement it builds, and it's okay damage. And the slight decrease threat over time can be nice if your tank's not doing too well on threat. So this fight's pretty much the same as others, 3, 6, 7, 4. Finish these guys off with some quicker cast things. Actually need to hit him with Essence of Storm. And we'll see how far I can go through this. I'm not sure if I can actually kill that boss. A better Rune Keeper, better geared Rune Keeper probably could. But my gear's not too great. And here I can just finish with Combustion. And I thought there was one more ad, but I guess not. So I'll heal up here before the fight, and I'll actually eat some food. For once I will be good and eat food. So I'm going to focus on killing the ads here. And I will, just because this is a bit of a harder fight, I will go ahead and use Flurry of Words first, and then I'll use 3, 6, 7. And I'm targeting the boss. That probably wasn't the best idea, actually. I could have targeted the other ad and then switched Smoldering Wrath to that, but this will work fine. Then Fiery Ridicule to build that last attunement, and I should be good to focus on the boss now. And here, if I were lower health, I would have done Steady Hands to switch attunement, but Smoldering Wrath's just so strong once you can burn them with it, so I think that was a better choice there. And then I'm just able to finish them off with Shocking Words. And that was kind of shocking to me. I expected that fight to be harder, and me not really to be able to do it as much. Okay, so hopefully this helps you with the gameplay of your Rune Keeper, just me explaining what I'm doing, and hopefully if you're leveling you won't quite have as much, especially Combustion. Usually when I'd use Combustion now you could switch it with Shocking Words, and sometimes I do use Shocking Words still now instead of Combustion if I need to stun an enemy or just instant cast finish them off, if that's the easiest way to do it. So I'll go ahead and pull this. I will use Scathing Mockery here just because I want to pull everything and be sure I hit everything. I'm going to line of sight them out of here. I wasn't moving, I don't think, when I casted that. There are a bunch of enemies here, so I need to... Here's where I'd actually prefer to use Combustion over Smolder or Scathing Mockery. Too many spell names to remember. And here's a point where I'm not quite as safe. Maybe Smoldering Wrath can burn him off, and I want to start kiting these. Use some of my heals, use this little bubble, and I should be safe here to start burning them again. So in a little tougher situations like that, you do have some utility if you need to use it, and some other tactics, like I used line of sight there to pull them all at once so they could all get in the Combustion AoE. And I used Scathing Mockery there in particular to be sure I pulled them all. So I'll just continue here with Essay of Fire, and you see that crits a lot, that can one-shot regular mobs even. So that's always pretty much a good opener. And like I said, if it's a long boss fight you can always do 3-8 is what it'd be for me. Scathing Mockery would be better, just because it would end up actually doing more damage, but you never want to apply Scathing Mockery when the dot's already on, because you'd even rather use Fiery Ridicule at that point. That's where I would have used Fiery Ridicule, but it became off cooldown, and here's where I could use Scathing Mockery. I'd rather just wait for Essence of Flame to do that, and my inventory is full. My inventory is pretty much always full. I have so much stuff I don't need. Yeah, I won't look for anything to delete now, but I'll do that maybe later. And I will try to pull this guy once again. I'm not sure if I can, but we'll see how it works. And I'm going to wait for my attunement. I applied some hots to me. I'm going to use 3, 6, 7, 4. Here I'm going to actually do, because I want to build attunement real quick to cast Combustion before Essay of Fire comes off cooldown, and oh, he reset, that's not good. So this time I can actually build my opener better, because I didn't cast Flurry of Words. It would have been better to cast Flurry of Words there. So I'm going to move over here, and got that bubble, so I'm going to cast Flurry of Words, and I'm going to use the exact same opener here. 3, 6, 7 right on top of me, and 4. Now I'm going to queue up 2, and then get 9 ready to use, and 5. Now I'm going to use 3 and 6, hopefully real quick, because I need to get steady hands, and I'm going to apply 2 just because it's instant cast. And I need to use this bubble. I don't have time to use Epic for the Ages. I'll have to use Epic for the Ages while the bubble's on. And heal me some, and I can't use Steady Attunement or anything. I can try to use this Daze on him. Oh, he's reflecting. I need to pay attention to mechanics there. That would have been a good time to burn him, basically. And then here I need to be careful and use Smoldering Wrath and finish him off. Yes, I can. Okay. Well, that was pretty fun. I already mentioned this, but yeah, hopefully you did learn a little bit about Rune Keeper. Alright, so that was it for this Redline gameplay guide, and again, this one was recorded before, so I'm coming back here at the end to wrap this video up. And the next one will likely be on the Yellow Line Rune Keeper, because I haven't done anything for any of the other classes yet. And I do hope this was useful to you and you enjoyed it, and if you did, please consider liking and subscribing for more. And thanks for watching, everyone.